The principles of economics talk about demand and supply. If there is no demand, there will be no need for supply. And many times in Africa, the citizens make no demand of their leadership. We need to make demand and therefore get the supply of good governance, best practices, excellence, and growth through constitutional instruments and structures of democratic evolution of people and society and the land and the environment. It just simply means that if there is no performance, we sack the people that have been elected. It's just as simple as that. Nigerian citizens, African countries and citizens must make a demand of excellence, of development, of propriety, of good practices from its leaders. And if the leaders don't perform through the same democratic means, those people should be set aside and sent packing. This is what we mean by demand and supply. But if there is no demand by the citizenship, then there is no need for leadership to supply good governance. And this is so lacking in our experience in Nigeria today. And finally, the assertion of the office of the citizen as the apex of authority and priority that should be anchored by the rule of law in the land. The most important person in Nigeria should not be the president or the president of Senate or the speaker of the House. It should be the Nigerian citizen. That's the biggest office in Nigeria. It's the office of the citizen. That office must be asserted as the apex of authority and priority, anchored by the rule of law in the land. Until that takes place, the offices of leadership, which were elected officers to administer over the wealth of the nation, become excuses for the abuse and the misuse of power. Why? Because the citizen is inconsequential in their lives and in their books. That assertion of the office of the citizen must be observed as the apex of authority and priority in our society today. This is the way to move forward. If we can have this change in mindset, this assertion of this mindset, where we are able to change the way we think and have our expectations altered so that we can have a better society. That's the only way forward for us. And you can see that this is a job for both the leadership and also the followership or the citizenship. Nothing is impossible, but without a structure, without a redefined life expectation, principles, mindsets, and worldview, we will never be able to move forward. We will continue like this year in, year out, decades, centuries, because we have no better expectation for ourselves. The African person and citizen must come to the point where he believes or she believes that they deserve a life of dignity, a life of honor, that they are worthy of quantity and quality in life, that they deserve standards, that they deserve a high level of existence. And therefore the provision of these things become a necessity and they become a demand by the citizenship on the leadership. This is the way to move forward. This is how Africa will change. This is how Nigeria can improve. It is a synergy of expectations by both leadership and citizenship.